Thank you so much. So let's start the meeting. Welcome, everybody. I'm Lana Chartishvili, working for Global Compact Network Georgia. We are very, very excited to have a guest speaker on our masterclass today for Retail Association Corporate Sustainability Academy Group, which we are very proud that have completed 60-hour in-person, online, hybrid, all kinds of like a family member course at the Global Compact CS Academy. And we're really, really happy to welcome you here on board and having you to listen to this very outstanding, unique and remarkable guest speaker who we have today, our wonderful Viridiana Hernandez, actually. I was practicing to pronounce the last name as I tried to make it as simple as possible. Thank you so much for being with us from Mexico. It is actually very early today. It is 7 a.m. there. It's 4 p.m. in Georgia time, around that. So we are really grateful to have you here and you being with us, because we know it's so important, all the information and the things that you will be sharing with us. Basically, just a brief information. So Viridiana, our friend, is a really important person from Walmart, Mexico. She has a bachelor's degree in business administration from the Tech Monterrey, master's in sustainable development from the same institution, and she began her career in Walmart, Mexico. In 2012, actually. And today I would like to use this opportunity and congratulate Viri on 10 years of being in Walmart, Mexico, which means a lot, actually. A very sustainable person, the staff member, which means a lot. So congratulations, dear Viri. This is very important. And the division of the sustainability ESG manager on sustainability topic means a lot. So today Viri will be sharing with us her experience, the information gathered at Walmart, the very important practices and sustainability work they do. And retail sector, I would say Walmart has really, really important experiences to share with us. And before we start, I will also tell you that we had a Retail Association with us. So Retail Association has around 12 members, really leading and very important market industry representatives from retail sector, and six of them participated in our Corporate Sustainability Academy. So it was a very important partnership activity that we designed together, and we are very proud of that. So here you will meet really important people from different retail sector that are very popular in Georgia. And we have a retail association heads and management board here joining us, and the CEOs from those companies, PR and marketing heads. So those responsible for the ESG, for the different topics that are very important for the sustainability. And we're very happy to say that the 60 hours in-person hybrid course was completed, and this Friday, actually this week, we will be having the graduation, the official graduation ceremony. So thank you so much for being with us, and I will give the floor now to Viridiana Hernandez, and thank you so much for being with us and the time. Our time slot would be that 40 minutes presentation, and then 15 minutes to 20 minutes the question answer session that we will resume and have this opportunity. So thank you so much, and floor is yours, Viri.
Well, thank you so much, Lana. Hi, good morning and good afternoon for you. Well, as Lana said, I'm Viridiana Hernandez. I'm the leader of the Sustainability and ESG team from Walmart, Mexico and Central America. I'm really excited. I'm grateful for the invitation and for the introduction, Lana. Thank you very much. So let's get started. If you can share the slide, please, Lana. And also congrats for your graduation. So let's start. Today, I'm going to talk about our ESG framework, our regenerative company ambition. So if we can go next, please, Lana. I'd like to start talking about who we are. Obviously, you know Walmart Mexico, and you know that we are a retailer, but I like to start talking about these numbers in order to understand the size of the company. So in Mexico and Central America, we have more than 3,600 units in the 6 countries that we operate, presence in more than 600 cities in these 6 countries, 31 distribution centers. Only in last year, we opened more than 130 new stores. Associates, that's the way we call our employees. We are almost 250,000 of persons working for Walmart Mexico and Central America, and that become or made us the main employer, private employer in Mexico. And also, well, we have more than 86,000 suppliers in the whole region. And a number that always amazes me is the number of customers that we have every day in our stores and in our e-commerce sites. We have 5 million customers every day. So these are like really shocking numbers, right? And if we go to the next slide, please, Lana, we are not only a retailer company, so we are going beyond. So as you know, we have our e-commerce sites for all of our business formats. We can deliver in the same day to our stores, and we also have this extended assortment as Amazon company, for example. And not only that, our ambition is to earn the loyalty of our customers through this Walmart ecosystem. We are evolving strategically, and we have established these bases for an interconnected ecosystem, as you can see in this slide, whose strength is keep our customers at the center of every of our decision, right? So we have developed a lot of tools to give our customers access to new opportunities to the digital economy. For example, Byte. We offer to our customers connectivity solutions that include mobile and home-based internet at a low cost and prepaid telephony. So only in last year, we reached 2.3 million users. So this is like really huge. And in the other hand, we developed Cash App. This is like our digital financial solutions. So through this digital wallet, our customers can make different payments with no commissions and with no need to use cash, right? So with all this, you can imagine the size of the company, our business strategy, and where we want to go for the next years. And if you go to the next slide, please, Lana. And now we are going to talk about regenerative company. With all the numbers that you see, we think that the size of the company is directly proportional to the responsibility that we have. So we want to use our scale for good in order to become a regenerative company, not only to put the customer at the center, also to place nature and humanity at the center of all our business practices. So we are really aware of the challenges that we face in the world today: climate change, biodiversity losses, economic inequality, among others. And that led us to rethink our role at the impact that we have on the planet. So in sustainability, we have made a considerable progress in a lot of different issues. However, we are convinced that we can do even more. So as I say, the size of our company entails great responsibility, but it also means the opportunity to use our scale for good. Therefore, we have extended our ambition to becoming a regenerative company by 2040. And if we go to the next slide, please, Lana. Being a regenerative company means going beyond compliance and doing what is right to have a positive socioeconomic and environmental impact that contributes to recovering the health and the well-being of the people, of the communities, and the planet. So we want to create shared value for all our stakeholders and therefore for our business. So to become a regenerative company, we are based on these 4 pillars: opportunity, sustainability, community, and ethics and integrity. And in the masterclass, I'm going to give you some examples of every pillar. So when we talk about opportunity, we talk about our employees, our associates, and also to develop all these opportunities for our suppliers in an inclusive environment. In terms of sustainability, we are talking about climate change, circular economy, and natural capital. In community, we want to serve our communities where we operate. We want to give them access to safe, healthier, not only products, but also to services. And we want to support all the local communities. And in terms of ethics and integrity, we talk about obviously the highest standards of ethics and compliance. We need to have this strong corporate governance. We need to have digital citizenship. Also, well, we need to respect the human rights and to promote the dignity throughout all of the supply chain. So you can go to the next, please, Lana. We're going to start with opportunity. Our goal is to increase inclusive opportunities so our associates may build a better life for themselves, but also for their families. Likewise, we strive to create economic opportunities for our suppliers, their employers, communities, and for those who work in the supply chains. Can go to the next, please. And I'm going to talk about the diversity, equality, and inclusion strategy. Our purpose is to create a culture of safe work and workplace, where all our associates, customers, suppliers, and community may feel included and treated with respect and equality, where there is no discrimination against anyone and people are free to be themselves. So we believe the happiest associates with equal employment opportunities perform much better and provide better services to our customers and to our members. So this is our strategy, and we are based on these 4 pillars: gender equality, talent with disabilities, sexual and gender diversity, and no discrimination. And I'm going to give you some examples. If you can go to the next, please, Lana. Thank you. So in terms of sexual and gender diversity, we have focused on creating a safe workplace for all our associates of the LGBT+ community. The company has become a really important place to raise awareness and to reinforce our position through our human rights, respecting all the difference, including sexual identity and expression. We want to promote this atmosphere that guarantee our associates that this is the place where they can be themselves, right? So, for example, for the 5 consecutive years, we have been awarded with the best place to work recognition from the Human Rights Campaign for our culture of promoting this LGBT+ inclusion, for building workspaces that are safe and free of harassment and discrimination. And can you go to the next, please, Lana? In terms of people with disabilities, we have a lot of initiatives in place in order to increase the talent that we have with disabilities. Only in last year, we have in Mexico more than 5,000 associates in Mexico, and in Central America more than 1,500,000 in Central America. So, for example, what we do, we implement this new initiative to have new inclusive stores, and also in our distribution centers, we design an inclusive transportation for our distribution centers, including we have to adapt all the transportation for the talent with disabilities. We also have our first job fair to attract talent and a talent attraction campaign in all social media in order to raise the people that we have with disabilities. With the help of an external consultant, we review the job positions that we have in order to focus the efforts of attracting talent with disabilities. And in the photo that you are seeing right now, in Mexico, we designed this vest that say, "Hi, I can't hear you, but I can help you." So this is like focus on the hearing impaired talent in order to support the associate and the customer experience. So, well, we'll really have a lot of different initiatives in terms of people with disability. We achieve our goal for 2021, and we want to exceed our goal for this year. This year, we want to have the 3% of our talent with disabilities. That make us one of the companies in Mexico with more talent with disabilities in our employment. Can you go to the next slide, please, Elvana? Thank you. And then talking about supplier development, right? Where purchasing power has become a development tool. So we want to develop different suppliers. We want to support the small farmers in vulnerable situations. We believe that a diverse supply chain allows to offer a better quality and variety of products to the communities we serve. So by working with Walmart, our supply chain gain access, as I said, to 5 million customers every day. So this is like a really great opportunity for these small farmers. So this is one example of one program that we have that is in place in Mexico. This, well, in 2021, this program has 10 years operating in Mexico and is focused for all of the small farmers in the country, right? So we want to use our scale in benefit our suppliers in a way that this, because we know that if we buy directly from the local suppliers without the use of intermediaries, this translates in greater income for them, right? So how this program operates? Well, Walmart Mexico Foundation created this program in 2011. And the purpose is to increase the income for Mexican farmers. How we are doing? Well, we want to give training sessions to the small farmers to help them to drive their agricultural, logistics, entrepreneurial production processes. So this has afforded them to the opportunity to market their products in our units under preferential conditions, or any other self-service to even export them. So thanks to this program, we have contributed to greater productivity, increased earnings and economic spillover, created jobs and new business, with a special focus on the inclusion of young people and women. So you can see here the shocking numbers of this program for the last 10 years. We are really, really excited for this program because this program also involves monetary resources for the company, also to put the sales floors in the way that they can use it, use our purchasing power at the same time. Also, our associates help to the small farmers in commercial areas and in logistic consultancy, right? So if you can go to the next slide, please, Lana. I want to see that you can see this video. Unfortunately, it is in Spanish, but I'm going to explain what is happening because I think it's more important if you see the change that we can produce in one community in Mexico. So if you can go ahead to the video, please. This is a success story that we have in Mexico. They are a group of some state in Mexico that we call Coahuila. It's in the north of Mexico. They joined to the program in 2015. They produce a watermelon and melon farmers. And well, they receive agronomical and business training that will enable them to have access to the formal markets, right? So during the first year of operation, they invoiced 1.9 million pesos, and they were able to produce or to install these distribution centers in Monterrey and another state of Mexico. So they want to keep growing. So they were willing to adapt and to innovate. They work to transform their quality of their crops and their income, and they apply their new knowledge and skills acquired within this program, and they were able to sell their fruit in formal markets at a price of 75% higher than in the past. So this union obtained certifications for global markets, and as a result, they improve processes, the quality, the shelf life of their products. In addition to placement this distribution center in Monterrey, today they are delivering their products in 5 distribution centers throughout Mexico. So with all the earnings from this agribusiness, they invested in purchasing their own forklift equipment, 2 picker machines, and 2 cool rooms. So moreover, throughout the years, the agribusiness has opened the doors to new members to this union, and now they are more than 50 small farmers, and well, they are increasing the impact in their community, right? So only in these 7 years into the program, these farmers invoice 17 million pesos. That means an increase of 700% sales since 2015 they joined to the program. So that's why this is one of our main success stories. And thank you, Lana. Thank you. And connecting all the dots, we want to give them access to this connectivity, right? So we create an alliance with Byte, that our internet company that I told you before. So we want to provide access to this connectivity to the small farmers and to their communities. So we are offering them cellular phone equipments and affordable voice plans. So what we do last year is we delivered more than 500 Byte devices to these small farmers. And we are focusing in these 3 components. The first one is the connectivity access. So we want to increase the inclusion of the information technologies in alliance with Byte. The second one is combined training, because this way we can increase the number of in-person trainings if we go to the digital training. So we are able to enhance learning and the adoption of practices such as increased participation of young farmers. And in the third things that we are focusing, we want to give access to the markets with this traceability app through a system that we are designing with these small farmers. And our goal is to digitally enable more than 25,000 farmers by 2030. So if you can go to the next slide, please, Lana. Thank you. And now we are going to talk about sustainability. So and you can go to the next slide, please. As I'm saying, we focus on climate change, circular economy, and in natural capital. So in climate change, we want to mitigate climate change by reducing the emissions in our operations and also in our supply chain. So you can see here our main goals and our main progress from the last year. We want to be a zero emissions company by 2040. We want to source 100% of our energy from renewable sources. So right now we are in a 52% of all the total energy that we consume provide or come from wind parks, from hydroelectric plants, and also for solar panels installed in the roof of our stores. And also we have a program called Project Gigaton, where we invite our supply chain, our suppliers to join in order to avoid 1 gigaton of tons of CO2 by 2030. And if you go to the next slide, please, Elena. Talking about zero emissions, well, we raise our target, right? By being zero emissions company by 2040 along all our network and operations. And this is really important because we are not going to rely on the use of carbon offsets. How we are going to do it? Well, our goals are source 100% of free energy from renewable sources by 2035. And also we want to electrify the vehicles that we use in all our supply chains, including these long haul trucks by 2040. And we need to transition this to these low impact refrigerants in all the cooling and heating equipment that we use in our stores, in our distribution centers by 2040. So if you can go to the next slide, please. Lana, last year in Mexico and Central America, we started a project in order to transition our on-demand fleet, that this is these last mile vehicles that we use in order to deliver the e-commerce orders for the stores to the homes of our customers. So we are transitioning it to become an electric vehicles. So only last year we have 81 vehicles operating in 8 units, and that allows to avoid 173 tons of CO2. And if you can go to the next slide, Lana, please. And this is a store that I want to show you. This is like a new project. These are new like mini stores that are allocated at the outside of a gas station. So what we use to construct this store is a container, a sea container. So we reuse this container and we avoid to use new materials and to use natural resources. Also, this store are 100% sourced by renewable energy, and this store use propane gas. So this is one of the refrigerants that have a lower environmental impact right now. And also, this not in the photo, but this store has one bench, and this bench is produced with 100% of recycled material. And if you go to the next slide, please, Lana. Talking about circular economy, we are focused on the creation of this circular economy in Mexico. We want to avoid waste generation. We want to reduce the use of natural resources and reusing materials in new value cycles. So these are our main goals. We want to become a zero waste company by 2025, sorry. And also we are focused in the packaging of our private brand products. By 2025, also they have to be 100% recyclable, reusable, or compostable. Also, we need to eliminate all the unnecessary of difficult materials to recycle. And also they have to contain at least 20% of PCR material. And another goal that we have is we need to reduce at least 3,000 tons of virgin plastic from our operations and also for our private brands products. So if you go to the next slide, please, Lana, I can explain you. In terms of zero waste strategy, our commitment is to transform our operations to send zero waste to landfill. And we use the Zero Waste International Alliance definition. And at Walmart, we have this zero waste strategy centered on waste reduction, outfitting our stores and distribution centers with the infrastructure required to ensure the correct separation of the waste. Also, we want to donate products that are not suitable for sale, but are suitable for consumption to associates or to our customers. And we want to channel waste for recycling and reincorporation into new value creation cycles. So in order to ensure this fulfillment strategy, we create a zero waste working group made of 4 different areas of the company, like operations, Walmart Foundation, real estate, compliance, utilities, sustainability, and they help us to develop different strategies. So for example, in terms of avoiding food waste, in the case that the food is not sold, we seek to ensure its consumption, right? So this year we expanded our program across the whole company to lower the price of certain products with expiration dates about to become effective. So informing the customers that the consumption must be on the same day of the purchase. And also we have an associates fruit and bread program. So we donate these items in their store so our associates can complement their meals or their breakfast. And the next stage is to ally with food banks through Walmart Mexico Foundation. So only last year we donated more than 36,000 of food to these food banks. So you can go to the next slide, please, Lana. In terms of plastic foam, as I say, we need to reduce 3,000 tons of virgin plastic. So this is our progress from last year. How we do it? Well, we need to eliminate some products that use 100% virgin plastic, or also we can substitute the material that they are composed, or we can change the packaging specifications of some of our private brand products. So these are like 2 main examples. So for example, the oil bottle that you can see in the deck, this is one of our most sold products in Mexico. So what we do is to reduce the bottle weight to 25 grams to 18 grams. So only this measure allows us to reduce more than 200 tons of virgin plastic. And also we change the composition of our trays that we use for meat or chicken. So we change or substitute the material that are used. So right now they are composed by the 99% of PCR for PET PCR, and that allows to reduce 123 tons of virgin plastic. And also we know that we need to include our customers in all our sustainability strategies. So this is one example of our programs that we have in our stores with the aim of developing the country's recycling infrastructure, as well as making the recycling an agile and simple experience. So the customer doesn't need to do some big effort. So these are recycling centers that are installing in the parking lots of our stores. So at the same time that the customers come to make their purchases, they came to recycling their materials at the same time, at the same place. So right now we have 15 recycling centers in 7 states of the country. And we are really amazed of the response of our customers. Only last year, we have more than 10,000 customers participating in this program. So with this great response, we joined with different companies of different industries, and we want to install 10 more recycling centers this year. So we want to end the 2021 with 25 recycling centers. And we are really, really excited for this program. Thank you, Lana. And talking about sustainable textiles of the last part of circular economy, this last year we developed our first project in Mexico related to the incorporation of materials with lower environmental impact in our textile products. So we included fibers with recycled polyester in the composition of these jackets. This is like a private brand called George for Walmart Mexico. And these are made with 44% recycled polyester. And we use more than 163,000 bottles to make these jackets. And this year we are going to have swimsuits and also backpacks in order to increase the catalog that we have to these sustainable textiles. And you can go to the next slide, please. And really quick with natural capital, we want to help conserve the natural capital through sustainable sourcing. So we focus on these communities that are related to deforestation or to the biodiversity impact. So by 2025, our private brand products that will use palm oil or paper or pulp or timber, they need to come from certified sustainable sources. And also for these fish and seafood, they need to come from sustainable sources. And the next one, please, Lana. And really quick, talking about communities, if you go to the next slide, please, Lana. These are our strategy that is focused on 4 pillars. The first one is food security. Then we need to support during these natural disasters in Mexico and in Central America, because unfortunately, our region is a really natural disaster region. And then we need to use our associate and to promote this civil culture in order to make them to volunteer in their communities. And finally, this program that I told you about developing small farmers. So in terms of food security, we are working together to reinforce and to extend the food bank system here in Mexico and Central America, to improve all the mechanisms that recover tons of foods and to channel this food to people who need it the most, right? So the donations from our stores and from our offices and from our distribution centers are given to these food banks and to different NGOs, and they have the capacity to efficiently distribute them to from the units to the communities, and thereby increasing the use of these food products throughout these 100 cities where we operate. We also finance the construction of backyard gardens and plots for subsistence farmers in rural areas. And this program promotes sustainable nutrition and increasing available income. So we empower the women that live in these communities. And we also build a capacity development platform for farming, right? And you go to the next slide, please. And to end talking about ethics and integrity in Walmart in Mexico and Central America, we remember every day that our results are not only about what we achieve, but also how we achieve them. So we are based on these ethic compliance standards. These are the 15 areas that compose our ethics and compliance program: since health and safety, environmental, labor, and money laundering, etc. And really quick, I'm going to talk about 2 programs. So if you can go to the next slide, Elena. We are going to talk about ethics, because obviously we have our code of conduct that lead us how to act based on the values of the company. And also, I want a really important thing is that we have these formal claim mechanisms in order to give the associates the opportunity and to express any concern or to report any inappropriate behavior, with the guarantee that they should be treated confidentially and without any retaliation. So we have these mechanisms and that are available 24/7, and they are operated by an external consultant. So that's how we ensure that this confidential and if you go to the next slide, please, Lana. And to end talking about responsible sourcing program, we continue a focus on not only the in order to choose our suppliers, not only to analyze what is purchased beyond the traditional elements of cost, quality, and lead time, right? So we want to go beyond, and we want to integrate these ethical matters, labor rights, and social and environmental issues when supplying products and services in all the purchasing categories in all the regions where we operate. So through this program, we establish the expectations that we have to our suppliers, and we monitor the facilities found in potentially high risk places. So if you go to the next slide, please, Lana. So throughout the time, our efforts to provide communication channels have been broadened so workers may report their concerns. We also conduct risk-based audits and periodic evaluations to monitor the status of the supply chain. We are actively involved with our stakeholders and participate in key supply chains to solve any root causes issues. So this responsible sourcing program conducts an annual risk evaluation, so we may better understand social compliance risk in this supply chain. And with all these results, we catalog the suppliers in different categories that go to green to a red rating. So suppliers with an orange rating can continue working with us, but they need to provide the remedy plan to remedy their violations. Because we believe that by continuing to work with them, we can have a more positive impact on the workers than by simply abandoning the commercial relationship. So we are more committed to maintaining this relationship with these suppliers. And if you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you, Lana. Finally, we know that right now, this is not only all the programs that I told you, a lot of our strategy, it's not only terms of goodwill right now, it's also terms of responsible investment. So thanks of all this initiative, the company is member of the main sustainable indexes of the world, as the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, the Bloomberg Gender Equality Index, and also the FTSE4Good Index. So we are really proud of our achievements. We know that this is a really a big path that we need to keep going, but we are in this path and we want to become a regenerative company by 2040. So I hope to be to explain our main initiatives, and please, if you have any doubt, so go ahead. I think that we have 10 minutes.
Thank you so much. This was really on time. I spoke a little bit in the beginning, so we were supposed to finish, and this was the perfect timing, and it was really interesting, the presentation you gave, and this was really interesting to listen to all of this information provided to our guests here. Let me open to our wonderful here Retail Association members and CS Academy graduates already. Floor to the questions. Really thankful for very interesting presentation. I've marked few questions as well, but I was looking, we could do the question answer via raising hand, plus also putting your questions in the chat box. So use for both. And Anna was the first one who had her hand raised, Tatulashvili from Bank of Georgia. So Anna, please, I think you had raised your hand during when we talked about people with disabilities and their integration into everyday work. So please feel free. Also, one thing I wanted to mention, if anyone would like to pose a question in Georgian, they are more than free to do so, and I will translate. If anyone would like to directly pose a question in English, you can do so as well. So Anna, and I will go through the sequence here as the hands will be raised here. Thank you. Anna, please, floor is yours.
Hello, I'm Anna Tatulashvili from Bank of Georgia. This is a leading financial company in Georgia. And I don't have questions, just want to mention that it's very impressive, the number of employees with disabilities, also how much reused PET bottles do you have, and that you are cooperating with small farms. It's very impressive and amazing. And also it was very impressive that you are using electro cars, and just thank you for sharing this information. It's very impressive and gives motivation to us.
Thank you, Anna. And I think this is an effort of the whole company. So
thank you.
This year, and well, I think that these two last year raised the concern about taking care of the planet and taking care of the society due to the pandemic. So we see like big progress on all of our 4 pillars of regenerative company. So thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much. So next question comes from Miranda Mangaladze. So really Miranda had a very good experience of studying and working in US, as I know, with very important programs and international wide kind of knowing, being familiar with Walmart. So Miranda, please, a representative representing the Retail Association and the very good supporter of the CS Academy itself and helping us to have this amazing group joining us for the course. Miranda, floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Lana. Thank you, Viridiana. I would say, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
Bien, gracias. Perfecto. Very thankful for you to be joining to us. I have a lot of Mexican friends since I used to live for 10 years in Kansas, and I actually used to work as a Walmart associate in a Walmart store. So I know how it is structured as a consumer, as well as internally organized, and how it is treating the employees. And it's one of the leading retailer that leads by an example the world, so to say. So I'm very proud that you're joining today, and our members have an ability to hear all these beautiful stories. However, I'm going to ask you a critical question. We all know that the numbers and all these beautiful stories that companies propose, and say and do, sometimes is not in line with the customer's preferences, for example, because all these activities require lots of investment. However, most of the businesses are very specific about what to invest, how to invest, and also to sustain the prices. For example, the Georgian is a developing country. We all try to do all the good things and kind things and look good. However, all this investment takes lots of money that for customers in the first place may not be so much interesting when they have low purchasing power in the first place. And the second place, how do you motivate, or how does a CEO and the head of international companies such as Walmart, what value does it derive to be sustainable? What return the sustainability has on your performance numbers? If it's too long of a question, I can make it short. How does sustainability pay back Walmart in revenues and numbers?
Yeah, I think, first of all, talking about CEO and all this top management, I personally have, as Lana said, 10 years working in the company, and when we changed to our actual CEO that he calls Guillermo Loreiro, I see like a change in the importance of all the ESG and sustainability strategy for the company. He came from Unilever, so in that company they have this like big importance for all these matters. So they push the sustainability agenda in the country and in Central America. And in 2020, Doug McMillan, that is our global CEO, they, and I don't know if I'm able to say that, but I'm going to say it. They make, I don't know how to say in English, a retirement, an offsite for all these top management, for the global leaders in the whole Walmart markets. So per market, he shows 2 champions per every market, and they are going to be these regenerative champions. So in this offsite, they or Doc Million take them to a forest, and in that forest, they were able to see the change and the impact of climate change, or loss of biodiversity. And this was really shocking for our leader. The leader that choose from Mexico is called Cristian Barrientos. He is the Chief Operational Officer. So once we return in 2020 to this offsite, they change their mind. So he accelerated a lot the sustainable agenda, and they or he need to see how we do this, how we are able to implement all these initiatives, right? And how do you say that? How payback in numbers, as the last slide that I show you. Right now, the company is part of these sustainable indexes. So these give certainty to the investors, to the company are managing these ESG issues really, really well. So for example, in the other part of my responsibilities, I am responsible of the relation with all these sustainable investors. So for example, in 5 years ago, I talked with, I don't know, 1, 2 responsible investors in the whole year. Right now, this has been an increase, like I have an engagement meeting with an investor relation at least once a week. So my work is to convince them in order to invest in Walmart Mexico, because I guarantee, or we guarantee, that all these ESG strategy, all these regenerative company ambition, we are doing well. We are in the path of becoming this company, but I think that we are in the right way. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Viri, thank you so much. So we are still collecting the questions here. So if anybody would like to pose a question, what share of profits? Okay, here Anna Tatulashvili posed a question. Viridiana, what share of profit is used for corporate responsibility projects from Walmart? So like, what is the amount, the budget, I guess, a share of profits is used for the corporate responsibility projects in Walmart, Mexico?
Yeah, I think it depends of the project. For example, for the sustainability projects, we have like all these investment committee in the company. So we need to ensure a ROI, a percentage of a ROI, a return of investment. And a change that we have in this last year is that we are able to, in some projects, to integrate into these business cases that we are developing the environmental impact. So, for example, how much cost a tree, or how much cost to avoiding zero emissions. So I don't have like a specific answer because it depends of the project.
What has been the biggest amount, for example, the biggest project you invested in, the profit or the amount that you could share with us?
Well, in only last year, we invest, I think, was 126 million pesos in these sustainable projects, only talking about energy efficiency and renewable energy.
And I guess it pays off back in the loyalty of customers and the interest and the way people are proceeding in that part. Actually, I have a question before others could pose the question about the renewable energy and you mentioned few of the projects that kind of people volunteered themselves to participate or bring the waste and collect it, and how could you, for example, extend in this manner. So basically, you started it last year, or was that as a project that has been happening already for years? So what would be your advice? Because in the retail sector, when we were discussing some of the projects that the retail sector representatives here, the big supermarkets could start the process, we were thinking, so doing it only once a year or just doing it permanently, right? To have a sustainable approach towards this. So getting more loyal customers to also be attracted towards such activities. So was it a one-year thing, or you continue this waste management strategy and engaging?
Talking about volunteerism, it was the first program developed by the Walmart Foundation. So this is a program that is implemented since 2003 and 3 years. So this like the oldest program in the company. And before pandemic, every store that we have has the goal to develop 3 activities in the year. So how they work, the community approach to the manager of the store, and they say, I want to register, for example, my school or the school where my kids go, and I want to clean and paint that school. And that works because as is the school of the community, it most probably that the kids of our associates go to that same school. So that makes like this engagement, right? So every store has like this list of activities that the community propose, or also the associates propose, in order to have these activities across the year. And we have a budget per volunteer in order to buy the tools and they need the paint, in order to buy food for the volunteers. And I think it was like 200 pesos, Mexican pesos per volunteer. And the stores are able to develop their own initiative. So 3 per year, but that was before pandemic, because that means to have a lot of people in the same place at the same time. So this is paused right now. But what we do is like this digital volunteerism, right, for the staff associates. So we give consultants about our expertise to our small farmers or to another NGOs in order, well, to give all our like expertise.
Thank you. Really interesting the way how it comes to the retail sector itself, and how you explained that it was a community driven project, right? So community asked for it. So we have quite active community members who could really drive such important activities. Here I know we are at 5:04 here Georgian time, so we're like 4 minutes ahead of our schedule, and I know Viri has other meetings, but for one last question, I will give the floor to participants to ask or pose the question. I can also translate in Georgian. You can pose a question. Anna, does the state support companies that finance corporate responsibility projects? So do you receive any support from the government as well when you do the community project? Do responsible companies have any tax benefits in Mexico? So do you get such, I would say, interesting approaches as well, and the help from the government as well, because we know it's like a multi-sectoral cooperation.
Yeah, no, we don't receive any support of the state. Unfortunately, our actual government is not like really supportive. So no, we don't receive any support. And we are able to donate to have these tax benefits about our donations, but it's like only really a tiny percent of the whole donations, and we only do it about our monetary donations, because the 90% of our whole donations are in-kind donations, and most focus on the food that we donate every day of our stores. So the only 10% are monetary donations, and about that 10%, a really tiny percent that we are able to deduce and to have these tax benefits.
Thank you so much. That was actually very interesting to hear. And one more final comment I wanted to make. Actually, when we talked with the head of Retail Association and the management and the leadership there, Sophie and Miranda both mentioned about the food banks and some of the projects they could do together as a retail sector association, and what could others do. And you mentioned the food bank and the cooperation with the NGOs or the private entities together from Walmart initiative, and that's quite interesting. And we might have an additional chat on this and ask you for some good project ideas. And I know with the GRIs and the reporting parts, you are too much equipped with many licenses and many advanced tools that you could kind of give us some good advice. So Viri, thank you so much. Really used even more time than was for our talk, and really appreciate. Thank you so much. We really appreciate Walmart Mexico joining us, being with us in the retail sector. You guys are really doing a very important job, and here in Georgia, our retail sector representatives also are doing very important job here locally, and we wish to do some joint projects sometime. So hope for that. I'm pretty sure this is the recording. I will just pause in a second, but will be distributed to others as well who could not join for today. So thank you for your time. Thank you for the early and late night work that you had to take. So thanks again, and thanks for sharing actually your contact here in the chat that our representatives have, and in case of any activity or ideas or advice they will be willing to ask and share, they can always get in touch with you. So thank you so much. Madloba is in Georgian. Thank you. So gracias, Madloba, or whatever. How is in Mexican? How could I say that?
Gracias.
Gracias. That's great. Thank you, Viri.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Have a great morning.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.